of things. But I think as soon as we start to block out a story, we don't grow.
Mm-hmm.
And we deny the person the ability to grow too.
Mm. If you were 16 again and we took you back to being a 16-year-old girl and you were just starting out and, you know, really excited about God and church and the future, what would you tell yourself now?
Stick with it. Keep going. I think, like anything, and I deal with kids as well. So, you know, when you get a kid in your office and their fish has just died and it's the biggest tragedy in the world, and we're sitting there as adults going, it's a fish, you know. That's a bit like us when we reach our first crisis in faith. And so my encouragement to me would be, it's just a fish. You'll get through this. Keep going. Sometimes it's too easy to throw in the towel and go, my fish is dead and I'm just not going to cope anymore and I need to exit whatever I'm in. But pain is important for growth. It's also important for resilience training. And so the more pain you go through, sometimes the more resilient you become.
Okay,
So
that now on this side, isn't it?
yeah, exactly. So, you know, the fish is just a fish. There'll be bigger things that you'll have to grapple in life. But you get through this and you can get through the next bit. So that would be my advice as a 16-year-old.
Mm. What would you do differently if you were employed by a church again? Like if you look back, what would you do different?
Hindsight's a really shocking thing. I think it's easy to sit here and say that you would, you know, do all these things different, but I don't know whether that's actually truth because we all grow. And so where I was probably in the right spot anyway. Do you know what I'm saying? Like I dealt with things aggressively. I'm an aggressor by nature. Like that's who I am. I have the Nazi Party on one side and the IRA on the other. So, you know, I was born to be a little bit disruptive. So in that, I think I've embraced that today, and it comes a lot more gentle than it did when I was in ministry. And so, you know, I would generally speak my mind. Now I'm a little bit more reserved. I go, is that really going to be necessary? And is this going to be healthy for the person that I'm talking to? So it comes with maturity. And I think I've got to be soft on myself because that's where I was at the time. So sitting there and going, I should be, you know, doing this and I should be doing that. I don't think I could. It's only now that I'm about to turn 50 that I feel like I've got a little bit of a grip on my life.
So well said. And you matured so incredibly well. You're glowing.
I have a new life, Tina. I cannot explain the freedom I have, the ability, God's voice. I'll just tell you this quick one. I don't know if you're taping, but I lost my credit card on a walk with a person, right? So it was somewhere between Barwon Heads and Ocean Grove. And I would generally go into a flat panic. I'd be ringing banks and cancelling their card. I prayed and I said, God, where the heck is this card? And he said, if you go to the kiosk in Ocean Grove, they've got it. And so understand that there was 3 hours between, you know, having lost my card and me going back and getting my card. So I'm a little frazzled, right? Because I'm thinking, oh, someone's going to have a great time on my card. Anyway, went back and I said, oh, girls, I believe that you've got my card, my credit card. And they looked at me and they go, what's your name? I said, oh, Natasha Ray. Yeah, we got your card. So somebody had picked that up and handed it into the kiosk. It wasn't a place where I was going to go. I was going to, you know, retrace my steps and the whole thing. But the voice of God is actually a lot clearer for me now than it ever has been. And I think understanding how he moves in my life, understanding the strengths that I have, and he's using that, he's putting me in places that I never ever thought I would be in. So I'm very, very excited. This is the best of my life.
You can see the freedom, the sense of freedom on your face. It's quite amazing. I mean, I guess is it moving past the the hurt, the pain, the ability to be able to move through that, that's brought the
Yeah, I think that's a major bit, clearly. But I also think understanding who you are in Christ, what your purpose is, where you're going, and all of a sudden the grand plan has been revealed. Part of the grand plan has been revealed, and you just go, "Oh, is this what it's all about?" Oh, got it, great. And there's this relaxed feeling. I'm not striving anymore, so I'm actually living in a thriving moment. So I used to strive, now I thrive.
So good to see. So good to
Yeah.